Ladies and gentlemen, and fight fans around the world, this is All Access MMA.
Okay. Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Orlando with All Access MMA. Today we have Gillian Robertson, who's fresh off a victory over Courtney Casey. But before we go ahead and get into that, I wanted to say, Gillian, happy Canada Day. Do you have any plans for the holiday today?
Oh, thank you. And no, I'm not a big holiday person in general. I'm a big training person. So I trained once this morning, and I'm going to train again tonight. And I have a grappling match coming up on the 12th, so I'm just staying ready for that.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no, definitely. I've seen you in your training gear already, so I know you're always busy. Now, with your recent victory, you now hold the most submissions in, UFC women's history. Obviously, you knew about the opportunity to cement yourself in there, but I wanted to ask, was that part of the original plan, or, was that finish something that kind of just fell into your lap that you had to capitalize on?
No matter what, I'm always searching for the finish. I'm always looking for the kill. It's like we don't get paid by the minute, so I'm trying to get in and out of there as quick as possible. But to be able to to set a record and be held at the ranks, in the same ranks as Ronda Rousey, and actually beat her record is it's really mind blowing to me.
Yeah, congrats on that again. And I wanted to ask, because I know right now we are living in some weird times, and everybody globally is affected. But with the whole quarantine situation going on, how has it affected you, the way you train before a fight, or just in general when you're making time for family and friends?
With training, I feel like it's really the lack of training partners that becomes the problem. So just not having as many bodies and different looks to work with. But otherwise, I've been staying on point with my training. Not much has necessarily changed. Me and Dean Thomas, my head coach, we work together twice a day or 3 times a day every day. So he's always there for me, making sure I get my work in. So nothing's really changed. We're still moving forward, and I'm still getting better every day.
In general, are there any fighters currently that do bring out the best in you that, besides your coach, that you are able to train with?
Right now I'm training with Hannah Goldie, she's a 115er in the UFC, and Jose Shorty Torres, and those are my 2 main training partners. Every once in a while we get other bodies that we can work with, but those 2 are the ones that are there drilling with me every single day.
Gotcha. And before the interview, I was going ahead and, I was looking at some of the photos on your Instagram, and I couldn't help but notice Rob the dog in some of your photos. And I also gave him a follow on Instagram. I wanted to ask, how big of a role does Rob play in your everyday life?
Oh, he's my best friend. I adopted him about 5 years ago, and they said he was about 6 or 7 years old, so he's getting to be an old man now. But he's my best friend. He's the best dog I ever had, and every morning we go to the dog park.
Hey, that's awesome. Do you plan on getting any more dogs, or is Rob enough right now?
He's enough right now. I do have a cat that her name's Kazushi, and I found her it was the day before I went to go fight Macy. It was the day before I left to Boston. I found her outside, and she was just a little baby then. Oh. So now she's almost an adult cat, but those are my 2, Rob and Kazushi.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Maybe we'll see an Instagram for your cat pretty soon. For my last question, you mentioned earlier that you're going to be a part of the Submission Underground. So I know that contest is with the Mandalorian, streaming live on the UFC Fight Pass. Aside from that, can fans expect you in the octagon again in 2020 later on? If so, is there anybody that you can possibly name that you're eyeing?
So we were talking to Mick right after my fight. He said hopefully September. He's looking for a name for me. I'd like to be in there sooner, but September is a good timeline still. I'd like that. And so me and Dean started looking at the top 15 girls because I want a number next to my name now. It's like I feel like I deserve it. And Molly McCann's number 15, and I've already beaten her, so we're not really interested in that matchup. Number 14 was Ji-yeon Kim, who's about to fight Alexa Grasso coming up. So she's already busy. But 13 and 12 was Antonina Shevchenko and Montana De La Rosa. And I believe those are perfect matchups for me, and I'd love to take one of those numbers.
Got you. No, hopefully we do see Octagon again before the year is over, especially looking to the Submission Underground stuff on July 12th. We'll be keeping an eye on that. But I just want to say thank you, Gillian, for doing this interview with me today, rising star in the women's flyweight division. Is there anything else that you want to say to the fans before we go ahead and let you go?
Just go ahead and follow me at Savage_UFC on Twitter and Instagram. And then watch me get my hand raised on July 12th at Submission Underground on UFC Fight Pass.
Well, there you have it, folks. Thank you again so much for your time today, Gillian.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Mm-hmm.